I'm going to talk to you about the dumper's remorse timeline. And it's basically how things can go when things progress in the mind of the dumper and the heart of the dumper, and they begin to have remorse or regret for breaking up with you. And it doesn't always work like this, but when you use the no contact rule, you increase your chances of it happening this way, and this is how it can work in your ex's heart and mind. Number one is that they might start with the committee approach. And I notice this a lot in women, though men do it too, but they will have a group of people around them and they're going to talk to them about their partner. They're going to say, he does this, he does that, he says this. And in many ways, they're kind of putting it out there for the group to make comments and to speak from their experience and to even advise her to do something about the situation and what she should do. And like I said, men do it too, but I do notice that it is particularly common in women that they will consult other women. And I want to advise you against doing this. Your relationship should not be by committee. It should be between the two of you. And whenever you paint someone in the worst way possible, or you only judge them by their bad days or their negatives, of course, other people are going to step in and have opinions about that. And there are people out there who just like to meddle, or there are people who are single who want you to be single as well, or who are bitter at men, or if they're men, maybe they're bitter at women, and they will allow that to come out, and they will try to even punish your partner, assuming you're the dumper. They'll try to punish the partner for what they have experienced in the past. And so if you're in that situation, don't make your relationship by committee. It should be between the two of you. But a lot of people in this situation will go to this group of people and they will list all the details, and it's basically kind of like, what should I do? And a lot of times that person will go back to the person they want to dump. Maybe they have already dumped them, but they're still kind of in that awkward phase right after where the person who's been dumped is in shock and the two people are still kind of talking about it. They'll go back and they'll talk to this person, and then they'll go back to the committee. And finally, due to peer pressure, they let the committee decide, and they feel like they have to break up with this person because what would all these people think? And so that's quite a negative, but it doesn't have to end there. A lot of what this committee wants this person to do ends up being pretty shallow and empty. And usually they want to go out and party with them. They want to go to clubs. They want to live the single life with them. And they think they're just going to completely enjoy it. But if you had a good relationship and they're missing you and you're in no contact, a lot of times this is not going to be successful, and they're going to want something more tangible and more real than just going out and partying and being single, because a lot of the people in the committee don't want to be single, but they do want some people to be single with while they're single. And a lot of times they will find someone and they will now be in a relationship. And now the person who broke up with someone just to fit in with the committee is feeling alone and left out because now they're the one that's single and these other people are in relationships and they don't want to go out partying. They want to be with their partner. So the committee system for breaking up often fails, and usually it can cause the dumper to experience remorse. Number two, if they are still talking to the committee, or if they are in that situation now where the committee's tired of them, or a few of them have gotten into relationships, or maybe they just don't see them as much as they used to, they will start to try to justify the breakup, maybe to what's left of the committee or to themselves. And a lot of times this is still when they're talking to you. This is when people have not gone into no contact. They will do this. At least the dumper will do this. And they will start naming reasons that they broke up with you. And usually they're really shallow, like you didn't pick your clothes up off the floor, or one of your hobbies irks them. Things that really shouldn't matter when you're in a relationship with someone, because you're not going through a buffet line picking all the traits of the person that you like and making them change the traits you don't. A relationship is about compromise. It's about loving the person as family for who they are and not trying to make them into something else. And it's not assigning poor moral character or bad intentions for simple, small things that maybe they're bad habits, maybe they're just things that you disagree on, or maybe they're hobbies that you don't enjoy, or maybe this person just has quirks that are not the same as yours. But this is not a reason to end a relationship. You're not picking out furniture for a house. You're compromising and living with another person who has the right to be different than you. But people will justify leaving with very small things, but they want to have a reason beyond just saying that their feelings faded. And a lot of times they will tell these things to the committee, and the committee will act like it's just outrageous, like that this person has that hobby, or that they sometimes leave their toothbrush out. Oh, this person is clearly a narcissist and a controlling, toxic human being. It's amazing how some of these small things are just used to degrade someone's character when they really shouldn't be. But usually these things are not really important things that should not end relationships. And usually the person who's being broken up with is in shock that such small things would be used against them. Usually, again, these are shallow things that in time the person will start to think, this was not a good reason for leaving, and I'm willing to see it their way. I'm willing to compromise. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But when they go through these stages and they move through this timeline, they're more likely to see things your way, or at least just think it doesn't matter. You have the right to be different. You have the right to have different hobbies. You have the right to have your quirks. These don't make you a bad partner. They will start to see that when your attraction goes up and when they realize that breakup land is not as wonderful as they thought it would be. Before I get to number 3, get more information on my emergency breakup kit. It's a powerful guide to help you get your ex back. And you can get it at myexbackcoach.com/EBK. That's myexbackcoach.com/EBK. And at that website, you can also schedule a coaching session with me or a coach on my staff. I also have a new course that's just for men. It's called Masculine Destiny. It's for men who want to attract women and to live successful, strong lives and to reclaim their masculinity. And there will be a course for women in the future, but because I'm a man, I was able to address men in this course, and I'm thrilled that it's out now. It's called Masculine Destiny. It's on how to attract women. It's for men. You can get it at masculinedestiny.com. That's masculinedestiny.com, and I appreciate you listening to my commercial and for your support. Number 3 is when they usually can pull back from the committee and they are no longer intrigued or enjoying the life that they're living now as a single person. And so now they come to you with validation-seeking contact. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times what they will do is they will speak about the breakup, that it's difficult, they're struggling, things like that. And they will complain as though it's not their own fault, as though they don't have to experience the consequences of their actions. And what they're really wanting, they're wanting to hear that you miss them too, that you're struggling too. And even for you to say something like, well, this is what you wanted, it's not what I wanted. And you think that that makes logical sense, and it does. But to them, all that it does is make them realize you remain an option and they don't have to worry. You miss them. You are saying you would take them back. It's their decision to break up with you. And so that only enables them to continue in the breakup because they don't have to make a change in order to minimize risk. They don't think there's any risk of losing you because you still want them back. And now you're even telling them, well, you're the one who made the decision. And it's like, it's right, I am. Therefore, I'm the one with power. And so if you validate them by telling them, yes, I feel the same way, and this was your decision, not mine. I want you back. We should just get back together. It makes sense that you would say that from a logical standpoint. But when you're dealing with emotions and you're dealing with this person whose feelings have faded and they don't know what they want and they're just seeking validation because they don't want to experience the consequences of their actions, then what really happens is you just enable them and you push them right back up that attraction pole where they're now at the top and you're at the bottom again because they realize, even after all this time where I've been concerned because this person was in no contact, that maybe they were beginning to move on, that they're strong enough to stay away, and now it appears they're not as interested. But now I've figured out that they still are. They will still take me back anytime I want them. I'm still the attractive one. This person wants me. So I can just go right back to the initial relief stage that I talk about in my video, stages your ex goes through during no contact. So if you validate them and tell them, yes, I feel the same way and I still want to get back together, you're actually just making it easier for them to pull back. And most people even will think that they've gotten back together with this person. They'll have a reunion for a few days or maybe a week or two. And then the other person just says, my feelings haven't changed, or my feelings faded again, or it was the right decision in the first place to break up, and this is what I need to do. And they pull back again. And it's because they don't feel any consequences of their actions. One of the best things that you can do is not to take them back all at once and not to validate them when they tell you how bad the breakup is treating them. You can simply say, well, I'm sorry you're having a rough week. I hope things get better for you. And that's all you say. And you just back off. And it's like, wow, he didn't even try to get me back. She didn't even try to get me back. That's kind of what you want them to feel. And if they do come at you kind of aggressively wanting to get back together, one of the best things you can do is just tell them that you're not sure and that you just want to take it one day at a time right now. It's amazing how that will keep them viewing you as valuable and that they almost lost you and that they kind of have to earn you back, and that relationships actually take work from both people, and both people need to compromise and both people need to serve the other one. Number 4, this can happen if you don't give them that validation. And like I said, you shouldn't, but I call it the anger bluff. And it's where they demonstrate anger at you in some way. And it could be that if you two are still talking, maybe because they interrupted no contact, and so they're kind of telling you maybe they're still having a rough time and maybe you have not validated them, but they're still talking to you about it. And then all of a sudden they turn angry and they're being rude to you, or they're being really short with you. And they're wanting you to ask them, what's wrong? Why are you talking to me this way? I don't understand. And it's another power trip. It's another power struggle. It's another way to try to get you to tell them that you have missed them so badly, that you want them back, and that no matter what they have done, what they have said about you, and the fact that they left you and didn't even try to work it out, that you still want them back, and that you're even trying to get them to agree to be your girlfriend, your boyfriend again, whatever label you had on it. Maybe it was fiance, but you're trying to get them back to that status. And once they feel that, and that's kind of your response to them being angry, again, you do exactly what they wanted when they tried to get validation from you. So they start with something kind of soft, make you feel sorry for them, that they're missing you or they're struggling with the breakup and that kind of thing, hoping you will tell them that you are too and say, well, we could just get back together. You're the one who wanted the breakup, not me. And basically validate that they don't have to experience any consequences and that you will just keep wanting them, which just feeds their ego. But if that doesn't happen, they will use anger to try to get you to do the same thing, to try to sweet talk them, to try to talk them into getting back together. Because when they get angry at you after they kind of started talking to you, now you have some of that fear of loss. You think that they're getting a little further away from you than they even were. And so usually out of desperation, you try to talk them into getting back together because you think, why not? Well, this is why. Because you will just send them back to a place where they don't think they have strong feelings for you anymore. They will feel detached from you and that they just don't want it like they used to. And that's partly because it does not feel like you two are on the same level in terms of attraction and in terms of a balanced relationship. It feels like you want them a lot more than they want you. And usually that just harms attraction. If you don't fall for this, and when they're angry or rude to you, you just don't say anything, or you just say, well, I hope your week improves, or if there's not a response that's necessary, you just let it go. You don't try to carry the conversation. You don't try to appease them. You don't try to talk them into being in a better mood, and you certainly don't try to talk them into coming back to you. So if you don't do that, what can often happen is it may take a few weeks. It may take them seeing if their bluff worked to see if you will go back into no contact and can actually stay away from them again. And that's when they can really start to think, well, you're strong enough to stay away. I'd better stop messing around. And they will come to you in humility, which is what, if you're in this situation, you just want them to say, I'm sorry, I missed you. I didn't think it would be that way, but I love you and I want us to be back together. And then you two just sail off into the sunset, which actually takes a lot of work because relationships are not easy. It takes two people making effort. And a lot of times they have to learn that because not many people know that these days. But if they can go through these things on this timeline, they can get to a place where they think that they could lose you, where your value has now gone up, where they realize that being single is not all that it's cracked up to be, and they miss those times with you and they don't want to be replaced. And they don't like the feeling that they couldn't get you back. And all of that adds up to them appreciating you and appreciating the relationship again and wanting to get back together. And like I mentioned earlier, it's best to do this slowly. It's best to tell them you're not sure, but that you're willing to try or something like that, because we do want them to feel like they have to keep making effort and that they have to appreciate this. And unfortunately, if it's just given back to them 100% right away after they've broken up with you and they just come kind of ask, then they won't appreciate it. That's just human nature. So they do need to kind of earn it back to some degree. They also need to know that in the future that you might not be willing to take them back because you are struggling a bit now with what's happened. And so in the future, you might just say no. That will keep them from using a breakup as manipulation in the future. Men, remember to get my Masculine Destiny course. You can go to masculinedestiny.com, learn about attraction secrets and getting the girl of your dreams or getting her to come back to you. Also, the Emergency Breakup Kit is my guide to helping you get your ex back. And you can go to myexbackcoach.com/EBK. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And please leave a comment or a question. This has been Coach Lee. And as always, thank you for watching.